What's up? What's up? It's your boy, the host with the most. Do not brag or boast. I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy, Chris the Don One. Welcome to my channel. Feel free, be sure to hit the subscription button and notification bell. Share this with your friends, family, as well as your followers. Let's get this YouTube channel lit in the YouTube algorithm, because you all are well aware the YouTube algorithm know of me, but it simply doesn't know me. If you want to further support the channel, hit the join membership button. Remember, membership has its privileges: super chat, super stickers, all available on all outlets. Okay, welcome to my Facebook viewers, my Twitch viewers, as well as my YouTube family. Don Squad in the his house. Welcome. Got another recap of King of the Hill. This is season 14, episode 7, any given Hill day. Oh, what a difference 30 minutes make. Okay, so if you just watched my previous recap of King of the Hill, Peggy fade out, wasn't very impressed with that episode. Oh, how things have changed around in less than 30 minutes. 30 minutes? 30 minutes. Okay. So let's go into a brief summary of season 14, episode 7, Any Given Hill Day. Bobby tries to bond with Hank at the Dallas Cowboys fantasy camp, but Willow is interfering. Peggy starts a library book reading in her basically in her yard, and gets the neighborhood back together. Okay, so let's start off with the Peggy Hill story. So Peggy Hill is not impressed with how today people communicate. All right, nobody really go door to door and talk to one another. Everybody, pretty much, stick their face in front of an iPhone or a tablet, and that's how everyone get their communication on. All right, and Peggy is not feeling the way how people are communicating today. Uh, so she's talking to her friends. Her friends are distracted because they're looking into their phones. And basically, they have a Ring camera app where people can comment on what's going on in the neighborhood, because no one goes to their doors. Everyone goes into their Ring camera and see who's knocking at their door. Plus, everyone gossips. Okay, so you got that situation going on, and it kind of infuriates Peggy, because Peggy believes like everyone should be old fashioned. Back in the day, everybody used to go to the library, they go to the park, they meet up, they talk to one another, and she's just not used to this new way of communication. So she's trying to figure out how to bring the neighbors together. Now, while everyone is she run across this garage sale, and in this garage sale is a bunch of books. So Peggy comes up with the idea of having buying all the books, putting them up in the front of her yard, and people could read these books. All you gotta do is just sign them out, take them with you, and just read the books. And everything's going well. Everyone is reading books, everyone's communicating with one another, everyone is, meeting up, everything's going back to the good old days. Okay, until Peggy, as well as other people, are getting these bites on their bodies. When Dale investigates, they are bed bugs. And basically, Dale discovered where all the bed, because pretty much everyone in the app is blaming one another. Blaming one another because they went overseas, blaming one another because, just all types of stuff. So Dale discovered where the bed bugs are coming from, and they're coming from them old books Peggy bought. So Dale and Peggy pretty much have a pact like, hey, I'm not going to tell, you don't tell. All right. I'm going to get rid of your bed bug problem and make some money on top of it. And I won't tell anyone in the neighborhood the bed bugs come from your books. Deal, deal. All right. Everything's going fine until we get to the end of the show. So on the other side of the pond, Bobby went to a funeral. One of his customers done croaked over, and then it kind of get Bobby in a space like, hey, I don't really interact with my father. Let me interact with my father, because you never know, Hank could be here today, gone tomorrow. So he gets the idea of getting him as well as his father in the Dallas Cowboys fantasy camp. And Bobby thinks it's a good idea. Hank definitely believes it's a good idea. Now, Dale, Boomhauer, and Bill are kind of jealous because, they can't go along. But this is basically this is a father and son type of dealio, okay? So, Hank's excited. Bobby's excited. And everything's going well until they find out Willow, which is Bobby's new girlfriend, she also bought tickets for herself so she can join in, all right, to this fantasy camp, okay? In the beginning, it looks kind of spooky. It looks very spooky, all right? Hank Hill, is not excited because of the team that they gave him. Bobby is not all that excited because of the Willow aspect, you know. So everything's not going well. And then they go ahead and start playing the games. Slowly but surely, Bobby and Hank, they are starting to enjoy one another, enjoying each other's time. Bobby is catching a lot of balls from Hank, paws, footballs, paws. Okay. Everybody is having a great time. All right. And then out of nowhere, Willow gets involved. Comes find out Willow is a better football player than Hank. Now, I thought this was going to go totally left when we discovered Willow wasn't born a woman. Willow was a he-man. All right, but it didn't go that far. It didn't go that extreme. It's just Willow's is familiar with the Dallas Cowboys. Her father used to work for the Dallas Cowboys, and Jerry Jones fired him. So that's a mystery who her father was, but that's neither here nor there. I'm pretty sure they're going to tell us later on in the season or next season. That's something that they can just put to the side, and we can have that story for next season. All right. So, everything's going fine. Hank goes in to take a shower. Bobby goes in, take a shower. Willow goes up to Jerry Jones' office and looks at Jerry Jones' picture, and says, like, if it wasn't for you, my father would still be here. So Willow got on top of Jerry Jones' desk and took a huge dump on Jerry Jones' desk as well as his picture. All right. I thought that was a funny moment. All right. It's even more of a funny moment when Hank thinks Jerry Jones is in his office. Hank and Bobby knocks on the door, opens the door. They see Willow on top of Jerry Jones' desk in squat position, and the crap drops from her, where, and then all you see a shadow of Willow on the desk. You see Bobby and Hank, and then you hear that the famous Hank scream, whoa, whoa, and then it's funny. All right. So still don't know why she has a problem with Jerry Jones. We still don't know her father. And later on she apologizes and things of that nature. They left. Bobby and Hank, as well as Willow, they leave. And as they took Willow home, Hank and Bobby had a son to father's conversation that is very rare in the King of the Hill universe. And basically, Bobby just confessed, like, he's gonna have to break up with Willow, and he told his father that he's still in love with Connie. Which, if you followed my last live stream, which was like an hour ago, I said, like, yo, Bobby don't want to tell Connie, how he truly feels about Connie, and Connie likewise. So, Hank gives him some advice. Just be careful when you break up with Willow, okay? Because we already noticed Willow can go left on you. We just saw her take a dump on Jerry Jones' desk, okay? So if she's crazy enough to do that, she might be cray enough to do something to you, all right? So that's going to set up potentially for this season or next season. I don't know, all right? So, or it might be a cliffhanger on season 10. You never know, all right? On the other side of the pond, Peggy, everything's going, everyone believes the lie that Peggy and Dale has until everyone meet in the streets and they start blaming everybody. But then everyone says, wait a minute, all this stuff didn't happen until those books. And they started pointing at Dale because they believe Dale's been hanging around the books too long. Maybe Dale did something to the books. So you know how Dale gets when Dale gets a little pressure, when he gets a little heat on his ass. Pause. He starts spilling the beans. He snitches. If you ever do a crime with Dale, you're gonna get caught. Because Dale's gonna snitch, okay? Dale's gonna snitch to save his own skin. So as he runs off, he screams out, it was in the books, and Peggy knew about it. All right. So Peggy confessed it was her, but then she talked about all the things that was positive when everyone started reading the books. Basically, the neighbors agreed to just burn the books. So they burned the books. Somebody recorded it, put it on the internet, and you have the comment section roasting them. And the title of the video says, "Morons in Arlington, Texas burning books." And, no one knows the story behind why they're burning these books. And then you hear, you see comments on the side of the video going like, why are they burning books? Because they can't read. And they're just saying all kinds of crazy stuff in the comment section. I was dying laughing. Okay, and that's the end of that episode. Okay, so what I think about this is the best episode of King of the Hill season 14. Now, 2 episodes ago, I told you it was the other episode. This is they got 2 great episodes in this season thus far. A few mediocres and a lot of trash episodes, storylines, and the things that I done discussed with you guys about why I'm not feeling this season. But this was a great episode from top to bottom. Okay, I have no issues with this episode. I like this episode. I want to hear more. I think there's like 2, maybe 3 more seasons. And I think it's only 10. It's only 10 seasons. All right, it's only 10 seasons. So I went on and dated all the episodes. So I'm gonna try to watch the 3rd episode and give you guys a review on that later on tonight. And that's 3 live streams I have done thus far just for today. So if I do 3, I think I got like maybe 2 more left. And then I'll give you guys my final opinion of King of the Hill. But it's starting to look very, very good. Okay. Starting to look very, very promising and very, very good. They utilized the characters. The writing was a lot better. The jokes, even though there wasn't a lot of jokes, they spread the jokes out. But it was funny. It was all that in a bag of chips. And they're starting to piece together stories from previous episodes of season 14. So I like that as well. The Connie and Bobby angle, you know, they done stretched that out into multiple episodes. Okay. You know, Peggy's still trying to figure out life after retirement. So she's going to experiment throughout this season. And, it seems like Hank pretty much figured out what he's going to be doing as well as everyone else. So, with the Peggy angle, she probably won't figure nothing out until the next season. That's something that they can talk about. I like the balance of time. It wasn't too Hank heavy. It wasn't too Bobby heavy. Uh, it wasn't too Peggy heavy. It was it was an even flow. Okay, and then they utilized the sub characters. All right. Uh, and one thing I wanted to discuss, I discussed it in a couple of live streams ago. There's a new black character on King of the Hill. I see him in the intros, and the last time I only seen him was in episode 1, and they haven't even used him yet. So I don't understand the angle of that. I don't even understand why they even brought him into the universe. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. There's a few more episodes. I'm not sure he's gonna be in any of these episodes, but nevertheless, we'll wait and see. All right. So that's my final verdict of King of the Hill. Hope you guys love it. I'd like to thank all my Twitch watchers who's watching me on Twitch. I really do appreciate that. Everyone on Facebook, I really do appreciate that as well. And YouTube, yeah, I appreciate you guys watching me over there on YouTube. All right. But nevertheless, I'm up out of here. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. This is in the books. That's my recap. That's my review. I'll talk to you guys later on tonight with the third episode I'm going to watch later on today. I'm gone. Deuces.